Maramichi Baba. Hey, yeah. That's how it goes.
Okay, well, we're back for another week. And I hope everyone liked that intro.
I tapped into my roots. I don't know.
I knew I wasn't going to be able to think of an intro, so when you were doing that, I was like, all right, this is as good as it's going to get. Oh, Lord.
I had to think of like the words.
Yeah.
I don't think they were the real words.
One time I bought a piano book and it had like a bunch of Disney songs in it, and it was like for little kids, so it was super easy to play. Well, I mean, it wasn't easy for me because I don't know. Anyway, but it had the words of that song in it, and
Pentatonic sang that song.
Did they?
Yeah, I think they did.
That is steamy water.
It is. It looks nice.
Stormy weather. Oh, I'm very excited. Wait, hold on. Before we start like anything and we talk about anything, I was thinking about this. And I'm very excited because I'm starting to work with a nutritionist, and like I just thought about this.
You have.
Yeah, I got like she got in touch with me, and I'm just really excited cuz now I like people are like I'm working on myself, and you're like but it's usually like an excuse to like not want to, I don't know, like if someone doesn't want to date.
Yeah.
I'd be like, like, I'm just taking a break from dating. I want to work on myself. Like, I'm legitimately working on myself, and I'm really excited to see where it goes. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean I don't want to date, though.
No.
But I hope that people can, like, take me for what I am and then, like, kind of grow with me. But that's, like, a side note. I was just really excited about the whole situation.
Yeah, that's wicked cool.
I'm just really excited. Okay. All right, well, that was my, like...
I'm actually glad that because I forgot to ask you about that. See if she ever got back to you.
Yeah. And I feel like I'm hoping that this will be like the thing that like puts everything back into balance.
Yeah.
Because like when I came home from LA, it was like a whole mess of like I broke up with my boyfriend at the time, and then like they took me off my thyroid medicine because I didn't really need it.
Yeah.
And I had never actually needed it, but then my body adapted to it. So then when I came off of it, it was like, oh, what do we do?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Nice.
And then they jacked me up. They changed my birth control. Lady told me, oh, it won't make you gain weight. I gained 70 pounds in a fucking year.
Oh my God.
And I asked her, she said, no, there's just something wrong with you. That was beside the point.
Oh my God.
30 pounds in 3 months, though, like, that's a lot.
I mean, you were in college, though.
But I was home.
Oh. Because I was going to say, don't they say, like, the freshman 15.
No, in college, I was, like, in the best shape ever.
Oh.
Because I walked everywhere.
Yeah.
And I did 2 dance classes, and I was always, like, I was acting. And
yeah.
Did the mic just get wonky?
I turned into a robot for a second.
I know. Okay, anyway, but that's a side note. That's, like, a unimportant thing.
No, but that's cool.
Yeah, very excited.
I'm excited for you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What?
Are you going or am I going?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Because we touched upon this. Actually, there's a video, and I sent it to you a long time ago. And I will put a link in the description. And it's on Facebook. And I want to say it's either like a BuzzFeed or like one of their partner channels did it. And it's the guy that narrates the Dear Kitten videos. I don't know if you've seen them.
I think, yeah, you showed me.
Dear Kitten. Like, I don't know. He's got a cool voice. He's got a great narrator voice. And he does this video using jelly beans. And I remember I sent it to you because you were like, Jasmine, that video, like, fucked me up. And they, like, pour a bunch of jelly beans out, and they're like, this is, approximately how many days you have in your life. And then, like, they speed it up, and they take portions of the jelly beans, and they make them into, like, shapes and, like, little pictures and whatever. And they're like, you'll spend X amount of time sleeping, X amount of time commuting. And then at the end of it, they end up with, like, this pretty small square, and they're like, so this is the time that you have for doing other things. Like, what are you going to do with your spare time, you know, for checking Facebook, for going out, for texting your friends, for, you know, taking selfies. And then they drew like a question mark in it, and then they kept like taking out like portions of it, and they were like, well, but like as we get older, we're like losing that time essentially. They didn't say this, but it's like we're losing that time and we don't know. And then they take one and they put it by itself, and they said, but what would you do if you only had one day left? Because like we don't know how much time we have left. Not to like take this down a dark route.
No, yeah.
But, and I guess it's kind of like, because, like, what I always say when I'm about to do something risky, not, like, risky in the sense that, like, you know.
You need that,
it's
like,
wild.
little push.
Yeah, but something that's, like, I don't know, should I do this? Should I not? Should I go after, you know, what I've wanted for so long? Should I actually pursue something? And then I say to myself, one day we're going to be dead. We don't know when it's going to be, so why not take the opportunity and do it now?
Yeah.
Because we don't know how much time we have. And then also, it's like, for the people that judge you, one day we're gonna all be dead and no one's gonna remember this. And even if, like, you know, you're doing it and you feel weird while you're doing it, like, whatever. They're just nosy. I'm nosy. I'm very nosy. But that's aside from the point. So people can judge and people can say what they want, because in the long run, it's not their life. Which really leads me into my point. The other day, I was picking up food for my grandmother, and I went to the restaurant, and it was like a weird lunch. I don't know. It was like a lunch atmosphere. There was a couple people like spread around and whatever. And in the bar, they had on Dr. Phil, and they didn't have it muted though. Like usually, it's muted with like subtitles. So it's or caption. What?
Subtitles.
Yeah, closed caption. Whatever.
Same thing.
I was like, subtitles. Is that only? Okay. And they were talking about this boy who was 13 and he hung himself. He killed himself. And his sister found him. But they were sitting with like his teacher. I don't remember what grade he had her, if it was like the current grade or what. And they were showing pictures of him, like, when he was younger, standing by, like, school projects with friends, just hanging out, like, laughing, smiling. Apparently he was super, super bright. And he killed himself. Which is so incredibly sad to me that someone feels so uncomfortable by just existing, by being themselves, that they say to themselves, well, it's better off that I just don't exist. Because he is never going to see some of the best days of his life.
Yeah.
Like, because I mean, yes, it sucks. And yes, when you feel incredibly alone, it's like, well, what's the point if I'm so alone? But then you think about it, and it's like, you know, he's never going to go to prom. Maybe that would have been a highlight. Like, he's never going to get a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever. He's never going to get married. He's never going to, you know, see his sister get married or
go on a crazy trip.
Yeah. Or take like a family vacation. Yeah. Or just come into himself. And like, of course it doesn't work out like that for everyone. It's not like magical, like, but
you never know.
Exactly. And in your times of struggle, these magical moments happen where you don't even expect them to ever. And sometimes they just come up and it's like, wow, that was something that I needed. Or wow, that was something that was really great and I'm going to remember that for the rest of my life. And it could spark something, you know. Maybe you travel somewhere and then next thing you know, like you find a new interest, a new hobby, and then you build a career off that. So I just like, wow.
Yeah, it's always sad, especially with people that are so young.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how to word this. Like, they've had hard days, but I'm sure they haven't had the hardest days that they could face.
Right. And if it's so difficult for them now in, like, these smaller phases of hard times, it's like, how would they handle themselves in true hard times? But apparently he went to this one school, I want to say up until like I don't know, 5th grade, 6th grade. And then he left. He went to like a different school, or he had to drop out for a year or something. And then he went back to the same school, but he was with the same people that he was with originally. So it wasn't like he stayed back a year.
Yeah.
So he was back with like all of his original friends. He knew the teachers, and the kids just suddenly like they didn't like him.
Weird.
And they started bullying him. And he wrote a note saying, and I found the note that he left his parents, and in it he said that he had gone to like his teachers and like school officials and had asked for help, and they said like, this will pass, like just stick it out. But for them to say that and not do anything about it, granted I don't really know what they've done about it. I didn't read any more articles. I just read like the main few articles that I found. It's scary.
Yeah.
He said there's one teacher that really helped him and was the nicest, and she wanted to help him. But other than that, everyone else was just kind of like, eh. And like, yeah, you could say, well, kids are mean. But at the same time, like, if you sit there and you watch them be mean and they drive someone to do this kind of harm to themselves, like, what are we doing? Why are we standing back and like allowing this to happen?
Yeah. Wow, that's really sad. I feel like the schools have to pay more attention, because I'm sure, I don't know, whatever he said to the teachers, like, sometimes, because I don't know, I can relate to that, because when I was in high school, I kind of didn't want to, like, ask for help or go to anybody for help. But when I did, or, like, just, if you go and ask for help and you don't feel good about it afterwards, or you don't get what you wanted to hear from them, it makes you feel dumb for even, like, bringing it up.
Exactly.
And that makes you feel 10 times worse about the whole situation, whatever it is.
And then it's also like, well, they're not going to help me either. So now I'm really alone in this.
Yeah.
I don't know. It broke my heart.
Yeah.
Like, someone so young. I mean, of course, anyone who takes their own life, it's sad. But this kid, he didn't even make it to like high school. And it's usually what happens, at least what I've found happens, is that when you finally get to college and you get to like break out of the mold that you've been stuck in for, 12 years. Yeah. It's like you come into yourself. You get to pick your friends. You get to see who gravitates towards you. The nerdy kid sometimes ends up being like the coolest kid ever. Because what people say and do during like elementary school and high school, it doesn't fucking matter. It really doesn't. I mean, you could say like, I'm going to be an orthodontist, and then you follow through that dream. That's fine. But who you were growing up does not matter when you finally get to adulthood.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, those experiences shape you, but people change. The nicest people that you were friends with in high school could turn out to be like the fucking meanest, nastiest people that you don't want to be associated with. And vice versa. Like, some assholes, they grow up and they're like, I see what I've done. But and it's
a lot of the times it's everybody, especially when you're that young, everybody's just kind of like fending for themselves, trying to stay, I guess, under the radar, or just not be the weird one, or not.
Right. So they like pinpoint other people.
Right.
But like, why is it that they have to pinpoint a person? Like, why can't they just be like, okay, like, everyone fend for themselves. We don't like that person. We don't understand them. Leave them alone. Ugh.
I thought that the generations were getting better and more accepting.
No.
But it's all the same. Kids are kids. because I was listening to my sisters tell me a story about one of her friends. Like, all the boys on the football team were, like, giving him a hard time just because of him being a sweet, like, soft,
Yeah.
like, spoken kid.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's in this kind of situation too, it just blows my mind because I'm pretty sure he was bullied because he went away, so they're probably like, "Oh, where did he go?" But I'm pretty sure he was bullied for being smart.
Yeah.
Like,
Whoa.
I'm pretty sure that was a cow. Sometimes the cows
They get wild.
They
Oh,
like
he fell. No.
what?
Did you say he fell?
No, they get in the fall.
Oh.
They get wild and they scream over there. They're like, "Ah!" They wake me up. I swear to God. Like, because we're seeing these whole like these wars against each other. It's like race wars, and like people are getting bashed for their sexuality, and we have people attacking police officers who haven't done anything to them, but then we also have bad police officers who are attacking innocent people randomly, and it's just like nothing in society is really working out right now.
Yeah.
But for someone to have intelligence and they're going to get beat down for that, it's like why? Come on. Like, come on.
The thing about it too, and I think because I was reading somewhere about it, how like between boys and girls who, so pretty much girls are more likely to attempt suicide, and boys are more likely to actually go fully through with it.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that could be like society, because boys are like expected to be like strong and independent.
Yeah.
And so maybe that boy, he just was holding it in and holding it in and holding it in for so long. And by the time he like went to ask for help, it was like he had already held it in for so long. And yeah.
I don't know. Bullying in general is just awful. Like, why? Why do Why do people bully other people? Is it because they feel badly about themselves? Is it because they can't control their own lives? And we see it even, where we work. People
even
bully
when you
us.
get older, it's still.
But I mean, it's like it's a different setting, because in high school or in middle school or elementary school, it's like you're growing, you're developing. And
it's different when you're an adult and you get bullied, because I feel like when you're an adult and you get like quote unquote bullied, you have more of,
you can walk away from it.
You can walk away from it. You won't. Chances are you won't let it like fester in you. But when you're younger, you're like more insecure and self-conscious, and
also if you go to school with these kids, like you're trapped.
Yeah.
You see them every single day. I mean, for us, it's like if someone says something at work, just move along, because we're probably never going to see you again. I mean, if you have someone in your workplace that's like kind of a bully, you got to do something about it.
Yeah.
But you have the power to leave or say something or go to HR. If you're being harassed, I would hope that you would say something. But some people don't. And they just stick with it. And it's like, I hope that I hope it never happens, but I hope that if one day the situation arises where, it's either sit there at my job and be harassed and make the money because I need the money, or get up and leave because I know and I respect myself more than that I would get up and leave at the first chance. But it also depends on the situation. Like, because you never know how things are going to play out. Because next thing you know, you could say that, and the next thing you know, you're in that situation, and you're like, you don't even realize it's unfolding in front of you. Like, did that boy even realize what he was doing until it was like, we're really doing it? Did he make that choice? Did he know what he was going to do? Like, and his poor sister who found him.
Yeah.
That must have been brutal. I mean, obviously it's brutal in general, but for his sister to like walk in, and I think that I read something that she was going into his room to like ask him to like play or hang out or console him because she knew he was sad, and she
Mm-hmm.
found him like that, and it was like for her it must be like I was just maybe a few seconds too late, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was a minute, maybe it was 30 seconds, maybe it was an hour. She doesn't know.
It's just weird to me. Because I feel like we keep hearing more and more about these things. And I'm just thinking, like, how do they get it in their mind to actually, like, that is a choice for them, to kill themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I feel like maybe one of the reasons why we're hearing about it more and more is like the media, and also like there's more people in the world.
Exactly.
But how do they think of that as a choice to make things like quote unquote like better?
I was talking to my old coach, and he was telling me that they don't publicize like depression or like PTSD in soldiers, and like suicide rates for like veterans and current like active soldiers, because they don't want other people to like get that in their head, like this is going to be like a thing that I can do. Because like if if you're a veteran and then you start seeing like other veterans who have taken their lives because they can't deal with it anymore, it's like that now becomes an option. Not
Yeah. Well,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it makes it more realistic. Like this is happening in real life. So if they are feeling really, really like anxious and stressed, and they feel like it's not getting better, and then they see someone who had the same situation and they did that, it's like I could do that. You know, they're the same. They were in the same boat as me. I can do that.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's just something that we were talking about one time. But I don't know.
Yeah, it's a weird thing because it's kind of, I don't know. I want to say that it is a thing that it's like you, like planting seeds in somebody's head.
Well, it's kind of like gun violence. Like, it just keeps getting worse and worse. And it's like, is it from the media? Because now that we're publicizing it more and more and more.
Like, that's what they say about, like mass shooters.
Yeah.
Why they happen. Because these crazy people do it because they know that they're going to get publicity. They're going to die a celebrity.
Exactly. And even if they don't die, it's like they know that it's a possibility, it's a reality that you can go through with it. And sometimes that's just enough for them to say, okay, let's do it. And then it's also like, even if they're caught alive, it's like they've had their moment. They've had their time to shine.
And now they're in prison, infamous.
Right. And even if it could even be a cry for help. I mean, there were a couple people who just, they couldn't get help for it, so they took action in the most horrific ways to be like, this is me, I need help, and they die doing it. Or they get thrown in jail, and it's like, well, now you're gonna rot in there. But that is a whole different like mental illness topic. I wonder if he had any like mental illnesses.
I wonder, because there's so many. Did they give her? I don't know. Did they like say?
You didn't tell me I had poppy seed in my teeth.
Oh, I didn't.
I could feel it.
How do you know?
I could feel it. Okay.
Where?
So. No, it's gone now.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know. You just never truly know. And they say this, like, you never truly know about somebody, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, my cousin killed himself a couple of years ago. And, like, thinking back to him, like, all the memories are always, like, good memories. I would never expect him to do that.
Right.
I mean, maybe because he was, like, for a while he was overweight.
Yeah.
But when he did, like, he was good. He was doing good. Like, he had a really good job. He lost like 100 pounds. Like he was very slim, very
Yeah.
like I don't know. He was in great shape. He had graduated college. He was already getting job offers. Like everything
Was working
was
out.
working out.
But there must have been
Mm-hmm.
something in him that was just still hurting.
Mm-hmm.
And you never know when someone's hurting.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be something that's like a mental illness kind of thing that you don't really, it like goes under the radar because it's not like a full blown like symptom wise.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it was just something that stuck with him through all that.
Yeah.
Like maybe his insecurities. That's crazy though.
Yeah.
That's so sad. Like,
I'm just curious. I'm curious of what, because he did leave a note,
yeah.
but his mom didn't show it to anybody. I don't think. Maybe just like the like immediate family. But I'm just like curious of like why it actually happened.
I watched a BuzzFeed video, and they like did like a scenario where this guy was gonna kill himself, and they like showed him like checking his phone and seeing that no one had texted him that day, and he was like
Mhm.
down, and he felt really bad about it, and he like, you know, didn't want to bother anyone and be annoying, but like he felt really alone, so he decided to go through with it. But then like he was a neat freak, and he realized that he needed something, so he had to go to the store, and the guy at the store realized what he was getting stuff for, so he like took his key and keyed his car, so then he had to get like his car fixed. And then in that time span, like one of his friends texted him and was like, hey, just moved in my new apartment, you should come see it, we spent the whole day setting up. And it was like that bought him time. That was just like a short BuzzFeed video,
Yeah.
but it was just kind of like, wow, you never know what's going through someone's mind. You never know if they're hurting, or, you know, because I wouldn't be like, okay, you know, I better text Michael. Like, if I'm busy the whole day, like, I might not text you that day.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, what if, God forbid, you were, like, feeling really shitty that day and you didn't want to reach out to me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. Some people...
You just would never know.
Yeah. Some people don't reach out to other people.
Mm-hmm.
That's scary.
Yeah.
So that was, I guess, my food for thought. It's so sad.
Yeah.
And then, this isn't related, but Arnold Palmer died today, which made my heart hurt. And Jose Fernandez, I think that's his name.
I don't know, so I can't help you on that one.
He's a baseball. He was a pitcher for the Miami Marlins. I made that team up. That's probably not the real team.
It probably is.
I don't know anything about sports.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Arnold Palmer was the golfer. Obviously,
Yes.
you know that. But yeah. So.
Hmm.
I don't know. I hope that, you know, people.
I hope that we're learning from these experiences that,
Yeah.
like, of all these people taking their lives.
Yeah, and like this also kind of like makes you think about your friends and who you haven't talked to, and sometimes it's nice to just take a moment to like tell your friends that you love them.
Mm-hmm.
And you never know, that could be the thing for them that's like, wow, I needed that today, you know. You never know.
Yeah.
But so that was that. That's what I had on my mind since I saw it.
Yeah, when you told me about it, I couldn't stop, like, looking things up about it, and
Yeah.
especially because I have younger sisters,
Yeah.
so I always get worried.
Yeah.
Not always, but like, it just, when stuff like this happens, it like makes me more aware of like, when was the last time like you had a talk with one of your sisters, like you sat down and just talk about their day or whatever.
Yeah, or you just checked in on someone, just be like,
Mhm.
hey. I mean, I have like my group of people that I usually talk to, but if someone like outside of that group that like I'm friends with, but I haven't texted them in a while, were to like need someone, I'd hope that they'd reach out.
Yeah.
even if I'm not like their first choice, if they're like, maybe I'll, I don't know. Ah.
Mm. Well.
Yeah.
There's just this was gonna like lead me into what I was gonna say.
Okay.
I mean, it's not really tied into each other, but when you said this, it like reminded me.
Yes.
But like.
Yeah, we can move on from this.
Yeah, there are so many things that like people get bullied for, and one of them was like race.
Yeah.
And that's something that I have always been like aware of because I'm mixed.
Right.
Like I'm Spanish, black, and like European, whatever.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times I look like racially ambiguous, and in school that was kind of hard for me because, and to even like make it even weirder in the mix is, obviously like my dad, he's Vietnamese.
Yes.
So like growing up with Vietnamese family, like eating Vietnamese food, and like eating Vietnamese families.
Oh my God.
The Vietnam War, it was real tough. We did what we had to do.
Learned something new about Michael today. Gotta go.
Wow.
I wasn't ready.
I wasn't either. I didn't know I was going to tell you the truth.
Got a little nervous now.
No, but anyways, so it was like in school, it always was a little bit weird, like trying to like fit in with people.
Yeah.
Because I don't really look white most of the time. I don't really look black. I do though, like my hair. And then I don't look Asian at all.
No.
So it was always like hard because I could relate to like all these different like racial backgrounds. But it just was like if I had like white friends, I was the black Mike. If I was with like black friends, it would be like the white Mike.
Or like the light skin.
The light skin, whatever. And then Asian people, they just, I don't even know. A lot of times they either tried to be like, oh yeah, you're my cool like black friend, whatever. Or it just was like you're like a weirdo, like you have like Asian like fetishes or whatever. I don't know. I always felt weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I told Joel one time that you were my caramel friend, and he was like, that is offensive. And I was like, I didn't mean it in like a mean way. Just meant it as like, you're not black and you're not white. You're caramel.
No, but I don't know. I don't get offended by that at all.
I guess it probably was offensive. But
this whole thing sparked because of that woman that I worked with today. She's Egyptian. Yes. And I get mistaken for being Egyptian, and I even we talked about this already before.
Yeah, Brendan, poor Brendan, for about a year. No, maybe it was like 6 months. Thought you were Egyptian. He found out the hard way.
But have you ever felt like weird?
Yes.
Because
well, when I was younger, I looked very Asian. Like a very, very Asian. But that actually was the least of my worries. Actually, now I've gotten it more. I've had remarks from people, and you can't be racist towards white people, but like if you were going to be, I think this would be an example. But it's very much so, like I get comments of like, oh well, you're white, so what could possibly be wrong in your life? You have a nice house, so obviously you've got it good. Like you're white, you don't have to worry about people like beating you down in the street. And it's like, but that's actually not the case at all. Not the case at all. But I don't, other than that, it's really just kind of like we had a manager who worked at our store, and she was talking to our boss, and he looked at me and he said, Jasmine, and I had cat eye, like, eyeliner on. It was winged eyeliner, normal. He goes, do you draw those things on your eyes because you're Asian? She goes, yeah, do you? Ha 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 ha. And I was like, no, actually, I just did my makeup today. And then I was listening to some song, and it had like violin in it. I'm pretty sure it was probably Yellow Card, or it was like The Head and the Heart. Nothing even close to Asian. And our boss was like, "Oh yeah, you listen to that Chinese music because you're Asian." And I was like, "No." She's like, the other manager, she was like, "Oh yeah, like the kind that you get when like you go and the ching ching chongs do your toes, haha, like you." And I was like,
Oh my god.
no, actually, this is not Asian music. If it was, what was the point in you saying that to me? And it was like a moment of like, I feel weird.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, I haven't had it, nearly as bad as other people have.
Yeah, but he's still a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Especially like now in the media, there's all this like the Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. Like people are not being, like, there's just a lot of ignorant people out there.
A lot.
But how do you? I don't know. I always think about it because I've dealt with it all my life. But like how. I wonder when people are going to stop being ignorant when it comes to, like... Oh, that feels weird now. I don't know. I just wonder when people are going to stop being ignorant to things. Because I get a lot of times, like... People think that I listen to, like, rap music.
Right.
Or...
And people think that I don't listen to rap music.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like... What? Okay. Like, if I could rap a whole song, people are like... Weird. But like if you want to play like Johnny Swim, people are like, what are you doing?
Exactly.
Which it shouldn't matter. No. So strange. I don't know. Race it's weird. It's also a weird topic because you never know who you're gonna offend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's pretty much...
I want this microphone to sound better. It sounds like you're underwater.
Does it?
No. Michael!
Oh, that scared the criminy out of me.
The criminy? Oh, Lord. Well, in other news, I'm very, very excited about this weather. It's fall in Connecticut, finally. Right now... right now it's about I think like 54 out, 52, and I am in heaven. You can hear the crickets in the background. Like
I was surprised you could still hear the crickets.
Crickets. Right now we're sitting out on the porch wrapped in blankets, but like I'm ready. Michael and I got matching flannels from the LL Bean store. Mm-hmm. Not matching, but close. I get to wear my scarves. The only thing is that my grandmother's trying to fucking put the heat on. And I walk in and it's like that stale hot air and it's like...
Because there's no windows open. It's like the first gust of the like furnace.
Michael, like two years ago... I was making my Halloween costume and one of her friends came over to help me and he literally goes, "Wow, it's really hot in here. It's like stuffy." And I was like,
"Oh no.
Welcome to my fucking life." Yeah. I could walk around in shorts in my house. Like that's how hot it usually is.
That sounds good.
No, I don't like it. I want to walk around with like a blanket on. I want to walk around in leggings and a sweater and my scarf wrapped in a blanket with knee socks on. Knee socks make the whole picture.
I've been enjoying it too, though.
I think it's just time.
Yeah.
This summer wasn't bad, but it was kind of bad. It was humid. And I'm done with the humidity. I'm also done fucking walking from like, I don't know, my car to the front door and sweating. And being like, well,
your
gotta wash
skin
this.
Immediately turns dewy.
Yeah. Like my makeup, literally every single day this summer, my makeup melted off. Like it got to the point where like if I ran my hand over my face, it would just slick off. And I was like, oh, that's absolutely disgusting. Like today, put my face on and it stayed. I was hot. It was hot in the store. I was sweating, but it stayed. Because we didn't have gusts of like wet air coming through the window. Anyway. Yeah. But this is like the time of year where I go outside and it's cold and I stand there and it smells like wood burning and I'm like, I gotta start a new life.
Oh my God.
I'm ready. And then I get wild and I have to like drive around and like go to the beach. I'm always driving around by the beach anyway, but now I'm there like 10 times more and I'm like sniffing the air and I'll sit there until I get like bone chillingly cold and then I'm like, all right, I gotta go because I'm freezing. But like, it's just, I love it.
This weather I can deal with.
I love it.
The only bad thing though is my allergies start acting up again.
Yeah, I hate allergies.
I think it's like all the leaves.
Which is
falling.
crazy because like I know that the leaves are changing and like pollen and whatever, but for example, if I have my porch light on right now, it's so cold that there are no bugs. Like there are no moths flying around. So wouldn't you think like everything is kind of going into like hibernation or like I guess like dead mode?
Yeah.
Why are we suddenly so fucking stuffed up?
It's the pollen is still on the leaves.
I know, but why?
Like, you know that, like, I feel like it's a thing where you rake up the leaves and you jump in them.
Yeah.
If I did that,
you would die.
I would die. I literally would die.
It's like that until like the first frost, and then it's like, wow, my allergies feel great now. I don't. You know, people who are like, I don't have allergies. Fuck you. Also, you're a liar because I know you have them. I feel like in like this day and age, everybody has allergies.
Yeah.
Everyone's affected some way.
Even my grandmother, she like didn't really have allergies her whole entire life, and then like the past couple years, she's been getting hit.
Same with mine.
Yeah.
She gets a cough and she's like, oh, this is it. I think I have like bronchitis or the flu. I give her a fucking like Claritin and she's better. I'm like, she's like, I'm getting sick. I really don't feel good. I'm like, you have to take an allergy pill. Because it'll convince you. Like, you could be convinced that you're either getting the flu or the plague or like that you're getting sick.
Because the symptoms are pretty similar.
But it's crazy because like the flu, that's like all internal.
Yeah.
Allergies, I mean, obviously it's internal, but you take a pill and it clears up within a couple hours. The flu, it's like you have to live with it until it's over.
Yeah. Which is like, how do people develop allergies? I've heard so many different things like, oh, well, when you were born, you didn't have, like, maybe you had a sterile environment or whatever the case is. But when people acquire allergies, what is it?
I don't know.
Like, is it just it would stay dormant their whole life, or? Well,
because I used to ride horses, so I'd always be around like hay and just horses, like dander, dirt, whatever, and I was always fine with it. And then I didn't ride for, I want to say like 5 years, and then I went back and I couldn't. I stepped into the barn, and my asthma kicked in, my allergies got really bad, and I couldn't handle it. So I don't know if they like change or you can kind of like adapt to certain things. I don't know. Great. Michael.
I know.
Michael. Okay, well, we're back. We had to pause our original podcast because
I had to pee.
Someone had to pee.
I tried to hold it so long.
Yeah, whatever. And then my phone died. So we're now we're here. I don't even remember what we were talking about though, so I know we were talking about like the weather.
Yeah. I was a little bit out of it because I was focusing on not peeing myself.
Great. And the worst part is that at the beginning of the podcast, you were like, I have to pee now. And I was like, okay. And you're like, okay, hopefully, like, it's not. And I was like, no, you won't have to pee again. Has to pee again. I really want chicken nuggets.
Oh, I really want burger.
Oh, no. From where?
Wherever they sell burgers. If it's a burger stand, I'll take it.
Oh, no. I think we're about to get wild.
I hope so.
Well,
I want to talk about aliens, too.
I don't want to talk about aliens.
We're going to talk about them.
I don't want to talk about aliens.
Okay.
Outer space freaks me out, so.
That was nice.
That was a loud ass cricket. He said, "Hey, I'm out here." Great. Anyway, so our old podcasts are still up on SoundCloud.
SoundCloud.
Fuck. SoundCloud.com/browndogs, or we are a side of wild on there. Those are our older podcasts. And then on here, it's harder to find us on YouTube because you can't type in a side of wild. We don't come up.
You can.
I did it and I can't find us.
Well, on the computer or on your phone?
On my phone. Anyway, obviously you know who we are here, Side of Wild. Hopefully someday we'll be able to have our youtube.com/Side of Wild, but until then, we just have to fucking search us. But our tags are like my name, your name, a Side of Wild. I don't know what else. But yeah, anyway, so all of our links are going to be in the description. You can find us on social media. Follow us. Don't follow us. Snap us. Say hey. I don't know. Leave us an email if you want to talk to us. Comments. Questions. Inquiries.
Concerns, I wanted you to say.
Concerns, yeah. But yeah, we just remembered that we have an email together because we apparently forgot. So if you want to get in touch with us, you can email us there any ideas or questions or thoughts or concerns. But yeah, this is a fucking long ass podcast. And I want chicken nuggets, so...
And I want a hamburger.
It's time.
Let's do this.
Let's do it. Okay.
All right, later.
Bye.